Welcome back, everyone. I am Robbie.
And I'm Liam.
And this is it. We're up to our fourth and final review in the Jaws franchise. How do I give this movie an intro?
You don't.
No. Yeah, we're reviewing that thing. Whatever that is. It's a movie. It does stuff on screen.
Sound and pictures and everything.
Let's get into it. Jaws the Revenge.
Instinctively, man has always been drawn to the sea. Its beauty, its mystery, its secrets. But there is also a vague uncertainty, a sense of intrusion into an alien world, where man is unwelcome and completely at the mercy of the most terrifying predator on Earth.
Jaws the Revenge was directed by Joseph Sargent, and it stars Lorraine Gary, Michael Caine, and yeah, I've got nothing for this one. The plot, the shark takes it personally. Like, that's the plot. So Lorraine Gary returns as Ellen Brody, or like the empty shell of Helen Brody, because that is not Ellen Brody that I remember.
Oh boy.
She travels to the Bahamas because she's torn up by grief, and the shark follows her, and she has psychic connections with it, and and yeah. Oh, and it stars the roaring shark. How did I forget that one?
Oh boy, this shark very much does take it personally. Wants to get all of the Brodies.
Again, like all our Jaws reviews, this is going to be a spoiler review, but again, who the hell cares? Because this is this thing. So, okay, the film opens up with Sean Brody being killed by a shark, which is targeting Sean Brody because he is a Brody. Because that makes perfect sense. The shark, which has no language or human skills, would know that is Sean Brody on the boat at that specific moment and target him. That's the opening of the film.
That's the opening.
And it's done so well because he gets his arm bitten off and he's like rolling around on the boat with the torn sleeve, but you can clearly see the bump of his real arm underneath the raincoat he's wearing. It's a very clear L-shaped bump under his coat. That moves on then to Ellen saying that Martin is no longer around. The Great War Shark thankfully didn't come back. He is no longer around because the fear of the shark.
Fear killed him.
The fear of the shark, because as if if that was the case, that wouldn't have happened when he was actually facing the damn thing twice. No, years later, the fear of the shark just keeps tormenting him, and he dies from that. And somehow Michael has transformed from Dennis Quaid into someone who looks no one like Dennis Quaid, because this is apparently erasing Jaws 3.
Yep, Jaws 3 is no longer canonical.
So, Jaws the Revenge, when it came out, was apparently supposed to be the third chapter in the Jaws trilogy. So, yeah, erasing Jaws 3. And then they deliver this.
It's even worse. Because unlike Jaws 3D, I don't have fun with this movie. at all. It's just a train wreck.
It is horrible.
It's one of the worst films ever made. I don't even want to call it a film.
I'll say I would come. It would come close. Actually, I mean, the other films that I enjoy watching less because they give me a horrible feeling and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is, for me, the worst film ever made, and that kills me because it's from the franchise of one of my all-time favorite films. This is the biggest slap in the face to that original masterpiece. And it is insulting that they thought this belongs in that same franchise. It's horrible.
Well, just
horrible.
Even as a film, you know, it's just like taking away the franchise. It just doesn't work. Nothing works. It's insane. It's
so bad. There is not a single redeeming thing about this bloody thing.
the cinematography in this one is awful. It looks like it was filmed by someone with one arm.
That wonderful sped up shot for no apparent reason of Ellen's arm going from the stove to the fridge, and it's like
Yeah.
what's that?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's so strange. It's so strange, and that links into the editing, which is just all over the place. They didn't give a shit about continuity at all.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
We didn't care about continuity because we got that wonderful Michael Caine bit when he comes out from the water, soaking wet, of course. The very next shot, his hair is soaking wet, but his shirt is bone dry.
Yeah, it's completely dry. It's like, wow, you know,
You
that
really
sun
didn't
must
care.
be hot. And it's just...
So yeah, Michael Caine's in this, and he turned down receiving an Oscar to be in this movie. Smart move. Really, really smart move there with that one.
I don't even...
Dennis Quaid, he was good in Jaws 3.
Yeah, he was...
No one in
so
this is good.
Even
And
actors...
the movie's boring.
Even actors in previous films are bad in this one, which is insane.
Like Lorraine Gary, she's a good actress. She is fantastic in the first one. She is good in the second one.
She's horrible in this.
It is...
Horrible.
They are all horrible. And then you got... oh man, I'm gonna sound racist saying this, but it's got nothing to do with him being Jamaican. But the Jamaican guy is such a pain in the ass in this movie.
I know exactly what you mean.
And it's got nothing to do with anything to do with him being Jamaican, like I said.
No.
It is his character. He is so annoying and he just says the most stupid things.
And the thing is, regardless of race, if you're a bad actor, you're a bad actor, and he's a bad actor. Like, I don't know what else he's done, but he's not good in this.
Okay, so yeah, bad actors, bad everything. It feels like it feels a bit like a Days of Our Lives movie. That just happens to have a shark appear every now and then.
Yeah, it feels so like soap opera type.
There's this romance going on between Lorraine Gary and Michael Caine, which
how dare you?
it's just really
makes me want to cry. This movie, and not in a positive way, not in a cathartic way.
And characters just do the most random things. Michael is grieving from his brother Sean, and he's walking along the beach with his wife, and then he just starts running for no apparent reason. And then his wife's like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "Nowhere." I'm like, "Well, you're clearly going somewhere because you're running somewhere."
It's...
Oh man!
I don't even know what to say anymore about it.
Yeah, I thought I've got a lot to say about this movie, but maybe it's just 20 years of just raging about this movie that I'm just worn out about it now.
It's a piece of shit.
It's horrible.
Garbage.
I didn't even talk about...
Garbage.
Okay, we didn't talk about the shark.
The shark.
Yeah, if you can call that. when I first saw, the very first time I saw this movie, when the shark appears and Michael's in that stupid little submarine thing that apparently can work, because it looks like a cardboard cutout.
It does.
It
looks like it's gonna soak.
Yeah, and the shark appears next to it. I kid you, my initial reaction was, haha, they made a dummy shark. I actually thought a character made a dummy shark in the film. And then I realized that was the actual shark. Because the thing looks so bad. It flops all over the place. The rubber skin doesn't fit properly over the mechanical bit of the shark. So
it looks like it's gonna fall off.
The whole thing, the whole shark looks like it's just about to drop dead at any minute.
It's kind of insane that it got even worse
Than Jaws 3.
Than Jaws 3.
And, I mean, this shark must be some kind of super shark and have breathing skills that no other shark has, because I swear it spends more time above the water than it does below it.
Oh, yeah, like...
And not just above it, like, the whole, like... The top 3/4 of the shark is above the water.
Yeah, basically the
like,
only part that's in the water
is
the tail. And it doesn't make any goddamn sense. It's so confusing.
It's so bad. And then on top of that, this film has the nerve to bring in flashbacks of the original one, both of which, there's two main bits of flashbacks that I can think of that don't work at all. I mean, of course they don't work, but they don't even make any sense, because the first one is Michael doing the hand and face mimicking thing that Brody did in the first one. Problem is, that was not Michael who did that in the original. That was Sean. So why is Michael doing that? Because he had nothing to do with that whole scene. Second thing is, the second flashback is Ellen remembering how Brady took down the shark in the original one. Again, the big problem is she was nowhere near there. How is she remembering
She would have
stuff?
just had to have recalled it from what he's said, and apparently it's perfect.
And she wasn't just remembering being there when she wasn't there. She was remembering, because it's a flashback scene, so it should be seen through her eyes. Somehow she's able to jump around everywhere the camera is, and it's literally a play-by-play of the final scene that plays with her charging down the shark, and then it pops. The shark pops from being impaled by a piece of wood.
Yep. It's
the shark explodes. It's an exploding
explodes
shark
from being impaled.
The thing must have eaten like a bunch of dynamite or something, because this thing goes off like bigger than like a C4 explosion. Like it's huge. It just lights up.
It's ridiculous, and it's not even funny though.
And then the shot of the dying shark isn't even new. It's the shot of the same shark from the first film. They reuse that same footage. And oh my god, okay.
It's lazy.
I'm starting to get really worked up about this movie. We need to stop, because this movie sucks. It sucks, and it should never be made, and it is an insult to the first one. It is just a piece of trash that belongs in the bin and should never ever be resurrected.
Oh man.
Got
that off your chest.
I did. It's horrible. If you haven't seen it, don't see it. If you love it, well, wow. I
think you have to be mentally deficient to like this movie.
It's just really bad. And no one dies.
No.
You get the death of Sean at the beginning, which is the general opening death scene. And then the only other death throughout the film is that one random woman on the banana boat thing. Everyone else who should die doesn't die. And
they faked out the death of the Jamaican dude.
Yeah, Jake, yeah.
Which made no sense.
Even though he was clearly in the shark's mouth.
And then it exploded, but he was fine.
Yeah. Anyway, let's wrap this thing up, because I'm done with this movie.
So am I. Alright, star ratings?
Oh, God,
yeah.
half a star, and I'm only giving half a star because that's the lowest possible thing I can give. It deserves nothing.
I'm giving it 5 stars. I think it's a modern day masterpiece. Okay, it's half a star.
Even kidding, like that is not funny.
No, it's an easy half a star. It's so strange because we have so many thoughts about it, but it's hard to project them for this film because it's barely even a film.
Yeah.
It's a product, and it's such a lazily put together
Not even a product.
It's shocking. It's shocking, and it's not even enjoyable.
No, it's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
But at least the Jaws franchise died with this movie.
But at the same
There's
time,
no
this
more.
is the final thing. Like, it didn't even end well.
No.
Oh,
Didn't end with a
man.
bang, but at least they didn't make anything worse.
No, it did end with a bang, just not a good one.
That's so sad.
Man's deepest fear has risen again. Jaws, the revenge. This time, it's personal.
Anyway, guys, those are our thoughts on the final Jaws film, Jaws the Revenge. Let us know that you hated it.
If you didn't, we don't want to hear from you.
Don't want to, no, not at all. But look forward to our review of The Meg. Hopefully the
shark doesn't take it personally.
Hopefully it does. There's no psychic connections. Yeah, but until then, we'll see you at the movies.
But not for this one.